surface area. In the previous lessons, we discovered that area, the space inside a two-dimensional figure, is measured in square units. So if we look at this picture, you can say that the area of the figure shown here is 8 square units. Or if you know the size of the squares, you can say it stated the area exactly. For example, there are 8 squares here, and if we say each square is, the sides are 1 centimeter, that means the area of each square is 1, so the whole thing is 8 centimeters square. When you talk about surface area, you're talking about a three-dimensional object, is the area of the region covering the object's surface. If you open the object up and flatten it, so you could see all the sides at once, you would find the area of each side and put that together to find the surface area. So we don't want to forget any of the sides, top, bottom, sides, front, back. And we also want to think of it as like if we were wrapping it, how much wrapping paper would you need to go around the object? So here is what we talk about when we open up these objects. We call them nets. And no, it's not the kind of net that you catch bugs in. It's the net where the shape, the 3D shape, is opened up and laid flat so we can see all sides of it so that we can get those three-dimensional sides there. So if we take the two-dimensional drawing from a three-dimensional shape like this square, this is what it would look like when it was drawn out. These are showing all of the sides, the front, the back, the left, the right, all of them that would be needed to form that box. There are two kinds of nets. There is a prism and a pyramid. A prism has two bases that are polygons and all the other faces on it are rectangles. A pyramid would only have one base and then all the sides or the faces are triangles. So here are some examples. If you look at A here, the ends or the bases would be these triangles here, and then the sides are the rectangles as we talked about for the prism. In B here, the base here is the square polygon, and all the sides are these triangles. There we would have a pyramid. Those are the two things that we are talking about when we talk about these types of nets. So here is a rectangle pyramid. We want to make a net of it. We can use this grid paper to help us for this one and see how we do. So we want to talk about all the sides of it. So if we talk about it, here I can see the front of this rectangular box. Let's just say it's a box. And it looks like it is 2 by 3 feet. I'm just looking at this right here. All right. And to know that that's the front, the back would have to be the same. So that means I would have 2 pieces. If I cut this all apart and opened it up, I have 2 pieces that are 2 by 3. So I could draw those out here, 2 by 3 pieces. And then I want to look at the sides. Well, here I can see the right side. I can't see the left side, but I know that there's 2 of them. Here it tells me it's 6. And remember, this side, let's get a different color. This side and this side are the same. So if this is 2, this is 2. So this figure would be then 2 by 6. So I would have to draw out one that's going to be 2 by 6 here. And that would give me one side, the right side, and I could draw another one that's 2 by 6. That would give me the other side. So now I have the front and the back, the left and the right. And maybe you want to label them, the front, the back, the left, the right, just to know that we've gotten all of the shapes. Now we have to do the top. Well, here's the top of it right here. And we know that there's a bottom as well. Well, if this part is 3 feet, this top part up here is also 3 feet, so that would be 3. And if this is 6, this top part up here is also 6. So we know that this one has to be 3 by 6. So we can go ahead and draw these out to be 3 by 6 and say that this is the top and this is the bottom. So here we can label it top and bottom. So now we have all of our pieces. This one was 2 by 3. That means the area, it's a rectangle, so area equals the length times the width. So the area of the front would equal 6. The area of the back would also equal 6 because it's also 2 by 3. The left side was 2 by 6. So that means the area would be 12. The right would also be 12 because it's the same measurements. Now the top was 3 by 6. That means the area of the top would be 18 and the area of the bottom would be 18. If I do each piece separately, then to find the surface area, you want to add all of those pieces together. So if I take 6, 6, 12, 12, 18, and 18, and I add them all up, I'm going to come up with 72 feet squared, because it's area still, so it is feet. That is the surface area, or how much wrapping paper I would need. So now let's go down to this one. It's another type of prism. It has triangular bases, but the same thing starts. We would start with the triangle. Here's one, and here's one here. So we want to find the height and the base of them. Well, the base here is 6, so that means this part's 6. Here's your height on this side. Put the height the same on this side, which would be 8. So these triangles are 6 by 8. So if I drew out these triangles, I would draw them 6 by 8. And that could be my triangle, 6 by 8. And I would need 2 of them. That would be 6 by 8. Sure I get this. Oops, there, I went too small, far there. There it is, 6 by 8 for that one. And now I have to get my size. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this red so we can see a little bit more here what it's going to be. I'm going to have 3 sides. The reason I know I have 3 sides is because a triangle has 3 sides. That means I'm going to have 3 rectangles. So I'm going to start with the one on the bottom first. So here is the rectangle on the bottom. If I go ahead and I highlight this out, I'm going to see that this rectangle is 15 by 8. So I'm going to need to make a rectangle 15 by 8. I'm not sure I have enough squares on this grid paper to make it wide enough, but we can go ahead and still draw it out, and we can just say that this is 15 by 8. Even though it's not that many squares, because I just don't have the room here, it is 15 by 8. Then we need to make another one. Well, how about this one in back? Here it is in back, looking to see what it is. And now I can see that that one, this is 10. This line back here is still 15, because that's what this line is. So they are both 15. So this time I have one that is going to be 15 by 10. And then the last one I need to find here is this one right up in front. So it's 6, and it's going across here by the 15. 6 by 15. And I'm running out of space here, but we'll kind of get it in here. 6 by 15. So now I have all of my rectangles and I have my triangles, and I need to find the area of each space. Well, the area for a triangle is base times height divided by 2. So if I took 6 times 8, that gives me 48, and divide those by 2, I'm going to say that the area of this triangle is 24. That means this one is also 24. And then the others are rectangles, and that area is area equals length times width. And let's go ahead and multiply those out. So if I do 8 times 15, I get 120. 10 times 15 is 150. And 6 times 15 is 90. Now again, add them all together. You want to do the 24s plus the 120, 150, and 90. You're going to find out that the surface area is 408 centimeters squared. It's just like finding area. You just have to make sure you get every piece. And remember, if the bases are triangles, that means the ends, you need to have 3 rectangles. If the base is a rectangle, you're going to have 4 rectangles. So here it is drawn out again. Here's an example of how you could open up these boxes or open up these triangles. Again, drawing it this way is hard for me. I don't draw them like this. I draw them the way that we just did, even without graph paper. So if you look at this rectangular prism here, we have to see, okay, we have a front and a back. I always start with the front and the back, or top and bottom, whichever you prefer. Well, how about we do top? Here's the top and here's the bottom. It looks like it's 2 by 3. The top and the bottom are going to be the same. So if I do the top, I have a bottom. Those are the 2 I have. Then I have to have a front and a back. Well, I know they're going to be rectangles. So let's say this is the front right here. Well, the front is 2. If that side's 4, this side's 4. So the front is going to be 2 by 4. And you're going to have a back that's also 2 by 4. There's always going to be 2 of them. And then you have to have a left and a right. Here's the left and the right one. You have to have 2 of them. So that is 3 by 4. So you're going to have 2 that are 3 by 4. All right. So now we have the top and the bottom. We have the front and the back, and we have the left and the right. What is the area of each piece? Oh, sorry, I forgot to write that this was 2 by 3. 2 times 3, because area of a rectangle is length times width, is 6. That means the top is 6, the bottom is 6. The front and back are 2 by 4, so that means the front is 8 and the back is 8. The left and the right are 3 by 4. That means the left is 12 and the right is 12, because 3 times 4 is 12. And again, add them all up. 6 plus 6 plus 8 plus 8 plus 12 plus 12. You're going to find out that the surface area is 52 feet squared. Here's one more. With a triangular base is what they call it. So you know you have 2 triangles. Here's one of them right here. It looks like it's 3. The height is right here, which is the same as this height. So that height is 4. The other one is 4. So it looks like these triangles are going to be 3 by 4. So height of 4, base of 3. And you need 2 of them, a front and a back. Then we need rectangles. Well, we know we're going to have 3 of them because we have 3 sides to a triangle. So let's start with one of them. Here we go on the bottom here. We can see one here. This one looks like it is going to be 5 by 3. So we're going to go ahead and draw that one out. That one's 5 by 3. So then we need to have another one. Let's see what we have here. Here's one right here. This one looks like it is 4 by 5. So we have one that is 4 by 5. And then we have one more on this side. If we look at it closely, that one appears to be 5 by 5. Right? Making sure that we're seeing what they are. They are sometimes hard to see, but make sure take them one step at a time. Now think of our area formulas. For a triangle, area equals base times height divided by 2. Well, 3 times 4 is 12 divided by 2. These are each going to be 6. That's going to be the area of them. Now for the rectangles, 3 times 5 is 15. 4 times 5 is 20, and 5 times 5 is 25. Again, let's add them all up. We have 25 plus 20 plus 15 plus 6 plus 6. We're going to find out that this is 22. Whoops, sorry about that. 72 centimeters squared. Go ahead and give it a try. We'll come up with some homework problems for you to work on, and we'll check back later.